Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the secrets hidden within corporate filings. Sometimes we find treasures and other times, well, let's just say things get a little fuzzy. Today we're diving into Envirotech Vehicles, Incorporated's latest report, and it seems like they're making some interesting side bets and maybe a few adjustments to their business plans. Make sure you subscribe and join our Discord community, linked in the description below, to talk all things corporate finance. This report from Envirotech Vehicles Incorporated, or EVTV as you might see it traded, is a snapshot of their current dealings. It's not a full financial report like a 10Q or 10K, which usually give us a deep dive into their money matters. Instead, this is an 8K filing, which is typically for big, unexpected events. And what's the big event here? Well, it looks like they've tweaked an agreement related to an acquisition they made back in late 2024. Let's break down what this really means for the company and for us watching from the outside. Back in October 2024, Envirotech bought a company called Maddox Industries. The deal was structured so that Maddox Industries seller, Jason Maddox himself, could get up to $1 million more based on how well Maddox Industries performed after the sale. This extra payment was called an earnout, and it was spread over 6 months after the deal closed. Think of it like a bonus paid to the seller if the business they sold continued to do well with its new owners. The acquisition itself wrapped up on the 18th of December 2024. Now the exciting part is what happened on the 20th of October 2025. Envirotech Vehicles and Jason Maddox decided to extend that period for him to potentially earn that extra $1 million. Instead of the 6 months ending sometime in mid-2025. The earnout period is now pushed all the way to June 2026. This means the seller has a longer runway to hit certain revenue targets for Maddox Industries, and Envirotech has a longer period to potentially make these additional payments. It's worth noting who Jason Maddox is in all of this. He's not just the seller, he has also become a director of Envirotech Vehicles since August 2025. Has also been the interim chief financial officer since January 2025, and then became president just a few days before this amendment filing. He also has serious leadership roles in related companies like Maddox Defense, which he has led since 2008, and he was in charge of Maddox Industries before Envirotech bought it. This shows a pretty deep connection between the seller and the acquiring company, especially with him taking on key executive roles. And to raise another layer to this, Maddox Industries has a manufacturing agreement from September 2024 with Maddox Defense. Under this deal, Maddox Industries makes medical gowns that Maddox Defense and its other related companies sell. Plus, Envirotech Vehicles itself has a lease agreement with Maddox Defense for a facility in Houston, Texas, where they handle their medical supply operations. This paints a picture of interconnected businesses where operations and agreements seem to flow between these Maddox-related entities and Envirotech. Now let's talk about what this all means. Envirotech Vehicles acquiring Maddox Industries is part of their strategy, and extending this earnout period suggests a few things. Either they are very optimistic about Maddox Industries' future performance and are willing to tie more potential payout to it. Or perhaps there have been some slower than expected results in the initial earnout period, and they are giving the seller more time to achieve the goals. The fact that Jason Maddox is now deeply involved in Envirotech's leadership, and these companies are still so intertwined, raises questions about deal structure and potential conflicts or synergies. This extended earnout doesn't immediately tell us about Envirotech's core financial health outside of this acquisition. We don't see any numbers from their main business operations in this specific filing. However, it does highlight a significant financial commitment and dependency on the performance of Maddox Industries and its related agreements. The potential for up to $1 million in additional payments is not small change, and extending the payment window suggests that this earnout is a material part of the original acquisition cost and future outlook. From a business strategy perspective, Envirotech seems to be consolidating or integrating its operations, especially in the medical supply sector. Given the manufacturing and leasing agreements with Maddox Defense, the strong leadership link with Jason Maddox becoming president and CFO also suggests his vision and operational expertise are considered crucial for this integration. The key risk here is the uncertainty of the earnout payments. If Maddox Industries does not meet the revenue targets during the extended period, these payments will not be made. However, if it does perform well, it means that Envirotech's initial investment is yielding results, which is positive. We have to remember that this is not a report on how the whole company is doing, but rather an update on a specific aspect of a past acquisition. In conclusion, what we see here is a company, Envirotech Vehicles, actively managing its acquisitions and its leadership structure. The extension of the earnout for Maddox Industries is a significant move, showing continued belief in this part of their business and a lasting financial tie to the sell-off. While we don't have broad financial numbers in this filing, it signals a proactive approach to integrating and incentivizing performance within their acquired assets. Alright, that's our breakdown of this Envirotech vehicles filing. What's your take on this extended earnout and the leadership changes? Does it signal future growth or potential financial strain? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and make sure you're subscribed for more corporate deep dives every week. Don't forget to check out the Discord community linked in the description to continue the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.